Today I'm going to show you how to install an auxiliary cable on a 5 Series E60 BMW. Today I'm going to show you how to install it right over here in this spot right here. I always found this would be the best spot for it to be. It would be really stock looking. You wouldn't have any random holes anywhere up here, and it'll look really clean right here. So today I'm going to show you how to take apart the dash, take out the center bezel piece, disconnect the AC controls, how to disconnect this slot right here, the buttons in the back, how to remove this and take it apart so we can gain access to easily drill a hole right here so we can install this auxiliary jack. First, you want to get, I have a plastic pry tool that I use. You want to stick it between the dash and the trim and pop it up. Once it pops up, you can just easily pop it right out. It's just held on by metal clips, so it should be easy to remove. Then you want to remove the hazard button and the door lock button. It's easy. You see this little metal clip here, you press it down and slide it out. And then you want to disconnect this. And you want to move the dash out of the way. Now we're going to have to remove the center trim piece here. It pops out, but first it's held on by two screws right on each side right here. Just get a screwdriver and remove it. Once the screws are removed, this just pops right out. It's also held on by metal clips, so just a little pulling on it and it pops out. Okay, now you want to remove and disconnect the AC controls. This one's easy. Press down and then this slides to the side, comes off. As well as this one, and then up here, little button, you press down, you slide this over, comes off. This one's a little bit different. On the bottom, you want to pinch this one down and the top one as well. I like to just kind of wiggle it out and use this thumb here and kind of pull it up a little bit. I found it helps out. Okay, now that we have this out of the way, we can remove this. This is pretty easy, just slides right out. And this one just unplugs, just slides out. This one's like the top controls, a little button here, and slides out. And this one right here on the bottom, this little clip you press down and it comes right off. Now that we have this out, I'm going to show you guys how to remove the front face plate here. As you can see, there's just 6 clips, so I found a little easier method how to get this out by yourself. What I use is I get like a flyer, and let's cut a few squares out. So you're going to want to cut 6 squares actually. 2, 5. Okay. What I like to do is this little clip where it clips in, you lift it up and place one of these little cutout cardboard pieces that you did, or these little plastic, well, I use a flower piece from the mail, and you stick it underneath so it doesn't lock back in place. See? So it doesn't lock back in place. And you want to do the same to the other side. I found if you can't use your nail to do it, carefully use a little razor or anything that's like a flathead or something. I use a razor to lift it up. Alright, stick it there. Okay, now that everything's not locked in place, this will easily just slide right off. So now you have access. Don't lose this little rubber piece that falls out. Don't worry if it falls out and you don't know where it goes. There's only one way to put it in. You can tell by these little indents here and these little slots that it goes into. There's only one way to put it in. So like when I took it out, it fell out. Don't be afraid, it's easily put back on. So this is the front of it, and you see how it has empty slots here. You can pick one. I found towards the driver's side is the easiest, because if you look right here, there's a lot of open space right here. Over here there's some stuff in the way that I wouldn't want to, you know, don't put anything there. I guess it wouldn't matter. The auxiliary cable is really thin, so it would fit there, but you know, there's a lot of open space right here to easily do it. Alright, so we're gonna have to drill a hole back here, just big enough where the wire can go through, and also right here. Once you have this removed, you want to pick out where you want to drill your hole. I drilled mine right here, so it's on the driver's side. When you flip it around, you'll see those are squares. Just make sure you remember on which side, which square. I found that I mentioned the squares just because it makes it easier to point where your drill is going to be, where your hole is going to be, so you can get pretty close to even on the other side. So in this case, I drilled it in this hole, and I use a 7/32 drill bit, which is a perfect size for the auxiliary jack. It's for this part right here. If you get the nut that screws onto the auxiliary jack and slide it through the drill bit, if it's a snug fit, it'd be a good size to use to cut the hole. In the back of this, I picked the driver's side because there's less electronics in the way. And I drilled a hole right here too. The way I fished the line through was I used a little tape, and I tape with the wire. I use a coat hanger wire. I taped the end of it, and so I was able to fish it through and guide it through here into the hole in the back. Now I use a little bigger drill bit so that, you know, it'll be easier to get it through that hole. And the only thing I can mention is when you drill this rear hole, I would try to get the drill bit as close inside the drill as possible, so when you're drilling, it doesn't go all the way down and possibly hit any of those electronics. So you want to be really careful when you drill this hole right here. You don't want it shooting down and touching or hitting any of those electronic parts. So I would get that drill and get it as small as possible, so when it goes in, it just goes in slightly. You don't want to hit any of those stuff, so just be really careful. So once you get it through here, get in the jack, screw it on so it's nice and tight. If this thing came off, just make sure you put it back in the right spot. Those be little guides here which go into these things. So this one's gonna be up here, so it'll fit. There. And when you put it back in, it just clips in place. Make sure that these little clips are all down. And you're ready to go. Now we can go back into the car and I'll show you how to finish the rest of the installation. Okay, now that we have this ready to install and connect, I'm going to show you how to remove the rest of this. On the CCC unit, you're gonna have 4 screws right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the CCC, if you have an MMAS unit with non-navigation, you don't have the top screws to deal with, but unscrew it. Okay, and you want to get you're gonna have, if you don't have the navigation, you shouldn't have to move this. You should have plenty of room to just remove it. But since we have the navigation, this will get in the way, so you have to shift it back to have enough room. Then this, you want to push this down. This is the harness. It comes right off. You see these? This is the one where the we're gonna connect our these. So you want to get this out of the way, and you can just revert back to connecting all the switches. And slide it back into place where it's gonna go. And this one's removed easily. This one, it's a little button down here. You press down, it comes off. This one, I like to use my nail. You can use anything, that a paper clip, a flathead screwdriver. Push it down, it slides off. Now on the cables I sell, I always include a little tell you which color of the connector goes to which slot. As you can see on here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the reverse side, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to be using pin 7, 2, and 8. I'll connect the first one, which would be the red cable, pin number 7, which is right here, and then we'll connect the black one, which is the ground, pin number 8, which is right next to the one we just connected. Now when you hear a little click, you know they're locked in place. I'm using the same connectors that BMW uses, the same ones that are on the cables, exact same. And the last one we have to connect is this white cable on pin number 2, which is going to be on the other side, right here. I'm going to be a little quiet, see if you can hear the click. That's when you know it's locked in place. Slide it back into the harness, connect it back to the main harness, and you want to connect the harness back into the unit. Okay, now that we have everything installed, I'm going to connect my auxiliary cable right here. And keep in mind, I've already coated my car for auxiliary. Your car will need to be coated for auxiliary for this thing to work. If you check out my other video, I posted how to coat your car. Entertainment. Auxiliary.
black and yellow. Yeah, you know what it is. Everything I do, yeah, I do it big.
Steering wheel's controls work. Very clean right here. I think it's a really clean spot to put this. Well, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment. I'll be posting more how-to videos on different things you can do to the 5 Series E60 BMW. Thanks for watching.